Josh Gilbert, MXGP of Cozar. Solid weekend, mate, in really tough conditions. Sort of take me through the weekend and yeah, how are you feeling after it?
Yeah, it's nice to get back behind the gate. I mean, we did one pre-season race at Hawkstone, and that went really pretty well. But yeah, you never really sort of till you actually get
Yeah,
racing, sort of see where you're at. But overall, yeah, I'm really happy. There was like a few things like in the first race I just really struggled. I was in 15th the first race going well and just got real bad arm cramp, and it's just because I was on the clutch so much. I literally had to go four fingers on the clutch with like 3 or 4 laps to go. So I dropped back to 19th, which I wasn't too happy about. But fair play to Reese, like he had his work cut out today,
yeah, definitely.
cleaning, and he managed to just all we did was bring the clutch lever in a little bit and try and just make it as light as possible for the
Yeah.
second race. And I actually didn't think the second race was going to go quite so well as that. When I went off the start, I went off, I caught someone's elbow, then I hooked the right, then I clipped someone else, and how I stayed on, I just was like ping pong between everyone. So I was like dead last off the start. But so yeah, I knew that it was going to be a long race because it was going to be so wet. I just got in a nice little rhythm, and then I didn't get any arm cramp that time, so I could ride like I know I can, and actually just seemed to just pick them off one by one. And at the end, I didn't even know where I was until I come in and reset 15th. So a 19th, 15th for the first round, and conditions were savage.
Have you ever ridden any sort of GPs when it's been this wet at all, or even any races?
Portugal last year.
Oh yeah.
When it that mudder, I think
that's probably a little bit worse.
I don't know,
really?
Because this was so grabby, the ground, whereas Portugal, it had a little bit more movement and you could relax a little bit more in places, whereas here you had to, like I say, I had to be on the clutch like 24/7. So it's between that and Portugal, definitely for the toughest conditions. But hopefully get to next week, St John. I like St John and get in the dry. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It's scheduled to rain, I think. But
I know. I'm trying to be hopeful.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can be. You said about in the second race that you found a flow and started picking people off. How hard is it to find a flow when it's one lap it's absolutely pouring down with rain, the next lap the sun's out, there's carnage going on everywhere, you've got bikes steaming, you've got people stuck, sort of.
Yeah.
Is it hard to stay focused, or are you just kind of picking your line, sticking with it through the race?
When I did actually find some better lines, I was just tend to sort of find the outside a little bit more and just go through the slot because it was easier than trying to figure your way through the ruts. And a couple of places worked, but then they started to get rutty. So then I tried to move out again, and it I don't know. Sometimes it is hard to get in a rhythm, and then other times it just tends to come a little bit easier. These sort of wet conditions, I tend to I don't mind.
Yeah.
Probably growing up in the wet.
Exactly. Yeah. The British, should be all
right. Yeah, it's one of them. Sometimes you get in a rhythm, sometimes you don't. But yeah.
Definitely. And the new Honda, how are you liking it? It's obviously a bit of a change up from the KTM.
Yeah.
Have you found that you got quite comfortable quite quickly, or is there still a little bit to sort of bridge the gap and to get you to like 100%?
Yeah, there's a few things I still think that we can work on with the bike, but overall I'm pretty happy. I've grown up on one for a long time. So as soon as I got back on it, actually, I just felt, I'm okay, I'm back. So
that's what everyone said. The Honda just feels like when you're sitting on a Honda, you know it's a Honda.
Yeah, I am comfortable on it, and to be fair to like Mark, ERS suspension, we did a lot in testing in Spain, and it was good. Yeah, I still think I could do with maybe a little bit more power because I'm just on a standard bike at the moment.
Especially
but
in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's it. Like
everyone's got
some trick. I got a Vortex done off of Rye, but 4-power, so that's got start map. But yeah, I just think now my initial jump off the gate's really good, but the factory boys you get swallowed up. And I feel like my starts can be better with a little bit more. So that's I think our next step hopefully is to maybe try and get a little bit more power under me and get them better starts, get dragged along, and hopefully get the better results again.
Yeah, and last thing from me, obviously we got France next weekend and then the opening round of the British at Hawkstone at the end of the month. Is that something when you're entering it, you're obviously looking at you can win that? Is that what's the different sort of mindset when you come into a Grand Prix and the competition's way more stacked? So is it hard to transition into, right, I want to win this and I know I can win it, and then you come here and go, okay, if I get near that top 10 and I'm performing really well?
Yeah, it is a bit like that actually. like this year, I've made one step better than I did last year. I went all the way to Argentina and broke my elbow in qualifying race, so I'm glad to get the first round out of the way. Yeah, like last year, to be fair, I was feeling quite good coming into last year and strong. But again, this year I feel strong and I'm healthy at the moment. Yeah, so we'll head to Hawkstone. Hawkstone's always a bit of a track for me that I dislike, but yeah, the international went well, and then you've got people like Conrad and Adam, and there'll probably be a couple others in the mix. So I'll go to Hawkstone and hopefully have 2 consistent rides and then build from that through the season.
Cheers, Josh. Well done today.